Tim, it's been a delight so far. We still got some more questions before we get out of here. As you can tell, the way these interviews go, I was hoping to, finish up, and we are 45 minutes in, 15 minutes in, and we are up to, I don't know, like 2017. So I appreciate your time. It's just the way my interviews go. I always drag people into random tangents. I'm not good at just, hitting the high spots and getting out of there. That's just not my style.
Well, and I'm not very good at, if you ask me a question, you may get 15 minutes of an answer. So, yeah.
I love that. I like getting in the weeds. With, the ownership change, you were in an interesting position because of being the champion at the time. I know there was a lot of issues, and obviously, I don't know how much you knew about it, how involved you were, and you don't have to talk about those issues because I know some of them were legal issues. David Marquez touched on that a little bit, and we don't need to dive into that. But what was it like going from Bruce Tharpe to Billy Corgan? And before it, did you know Billy Corgan? Like, I'm sure you knew of him, but did you know him personally before he made the purchase?
You can bury myself. I knew absolutely nothing. No, I didn't. I mean, I know you and I have not talked about, I've told this story, but I was in my classroom. I had my phone on my desk. Of course, silenced, whatever. And my students, I don't know what they were doing, testing or something. And this was, in Cauliflower Alley, the big Las Vegas get together, and which is where I guess the transaction became official. And for some reason, like, my phone just started blowing up. And I mean, just constant, just phone call, message, voice message, text. I mean, it just doesn't stop. But I'm in my classroom. So I got my phone right here. If I grab my phone and I'm trying not to do too much, I'm looking down, and I got everything from, hey, what happened? Did you know about this? I knew nothing. And I know there was basically, the silence where it was not allowed to go public until it became official that Billy Corgan bought the National Wrestling Alliance. And, my first thought was, well, it's been a good run,
Oh, wow.
They don't know me. I'm whatever I am at that time, 50. I don't know, 50. I know I wanted it 53, I think, something like that. And I held it for over a year. So I'm probably 55, or I don't know, whatever the age is. And I'm like, these guys obviously know wrestling. They've both been with Impact. They're very quickly going to make a title change. And I told myself, as long as it's done, as long as it doesn't hurt me, I'm a professional. I have no problem with that. This is where I get in trouble. So I had to look up, sorry, Billy. I had to look up Smashing Pumpkins, because that's just, I was a rap guy, and I know, hard to believe. Well, here you go. Ironically, Sugar Hill Gang. I don't know. I had to look up the wrestling history and what was the involvement, and all that kind of stuff, because that was all new to me. I had heard of the Smashing Pumpkins. I probably could have named a couple of songs at best. And the first couple of conversations, I am me, and I try to be a man of my word. And I guess that's what got their attention. I think Nick told me later on, or maybe it was in an interview, where Nick said, they did some interview stuff with me, and Nick said, well, who is this guy? And he said, well, he's no Ricky Steamboat. Now, at the time, I was like, oh, and I look back now and go, but who is Ricky Steamboat? Right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Who is a Ricky Steamboat? Would be a better way to put it. But